And welcome back once again to Blades in the Dark. Last time around, the crew found themselves in the company of two new members, Ankh and the Pale Lady, Caroline. And with these two newcomers, found themselves enrolled for a somewhat below the radar boat race through the districts of Char Hollow and into Crowsfoot, and able to procure a carriage which had been in a race before. Unfortunately, not the best ending, given that it had ended up in underwater and had been recovered, and is now being pulled by Dosvol's most vitriolic and cantankerous goat by the name of Eugene. And with a questionable carriage and an even more questionable goat, the crew arrived at the start point, which at the moment is in one of the smaller housing stations in Jar Hollow. Along with four other teams, among which a crew of like-minded individuals to Ankh, who follow the whims of an old forgotten god. The Grinders, who have a reputation of being somewhat very aggressive on the track, and of course the Cabbies, who are there to to hold on to their title and their undisputed mastery of carriages and goats, along with two other crews who have not yet been introduced. With that, we shall jump back in as both Ankh and Nathan are stood alongside the carriage. Nathan, you see that there is something of a familiar face among the cabbies, one that you've encountered before, and one of the fairly routine faces in and around Crowsfoot, by the name of Len, sort of quite often quite upbeat and likes to have something of a conversation with those that he offers that take the fares from him. And seeing you, he makes his way over, hands in his pockets. He sidles up and he says, "Oh, everything all right, son?" Calls you son despite being at least 20 years your junior.
Yeah, I suppose I'm fine. What can I do for you? You participating in the race?
It looks like it, but no. It's what I can do. What I can do for you. Looks like you want a little something to take the edge off. Glances over his shoulder, see where the rest of his team is.
Nathan kind of raises a bit of an eyebrow and what exactly are you peddling?
Oh, I mean it's dirty, but takes out a little kind of cloth wrap, opens it up, and then folds it. Gives you a look, and then folds it back up and puts it back in his pocket again, kind of looking back over his shoulder, just to sort of see the no attention really on you at this point.
I'm guessing what he showed me was some sort of powder drug?
It was indeed.
Nathan chews on his lip a little bit and then got a place in mind? It's a little public out here.
Step into your office. He kind of indicates the carriage.
Our carriage?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nathan obliges in this case, but he is gonna still keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't go anywhere near that engine.
Steps in. There's one of the sort of the board's bows beneath his foot. He's like, oh. Yeah.
Water damage.
Hummingbirds back on the track. Yeah. I was there first time around. It was a good runner until, I mean, it won. 100% victory record. Can't get better than that. Just, and as he, sort of takes out that wrapped up little bit of cloth, kind of opens it up in his hands, and he's, and then takes out, quite a formidable looking knife. I run crow's foot. It helps, and he sort of scoops up a little bit on the tip of the blade. Holds it towards you.
I would say down the hatch, but it's not going down the hatch, it's going up the nose, so. And I will certainly take that little bit of stress relief here. 6.
One thing is, it's and it is as promised. It is dirty, and you feel it burn all the way through. And I will give you the option here of how you want it to affect you. Do you want a mind or a mouth to go at a mile a minute?
You know what? I think I will actually do mouth.
Okay, so
resolve
at a level 2 harm of heavily drugged.
Yep.
As this just as he takes a little himself. Yeah, sorry, it's best thing I can get is supply ain't good at the moment.
Nah, it's definitely something I needed.
Good luck out there.
Oh, good luck to you too.
And he's about to open the door. He turns around. I suppose he turns around, shuts the door again, and he goes, I suppose you want to go in.
Going
on this together. Help each other out on the track. At the end of whoever wins, likely to be one of us. Split the pot.
Nathan's gonna think for a moment here. The pot is how much again?
So it is 15 coin.
And then 5 of that's used to pay off the blue coats, right?
No, that's accounted for already.
Oh.
It's 4 coin, and then 5, so that would be 20. And then so 5 of that goes to the blue coat. So there's 15 coin in the pot.
15 coin in the pot. This isn't something that I feel like I can say on my own. I would need to confer with Ankh in this case. Since this affects the crew total.
You have a chat with your friends, and whatever you decide, just give me thumbs up, thumbs down. I know where we stand, and no hard feelings either way.
Nathan kind of nods and proceeds to go look for Ankh. I probably realize the Pale Lady is dealing with. Probably has her hands full with Eugene.
Currently absent as in the streets of, as we get to the streets of Char Hollow, as with a she's got like a length of almost pretty much a length of string around this goat's neck, and every 100, 200 yards it just stops, like it's almost kind of like digs its back legs in, and just okay. And this is probably the third bit of tether that she's used, having chewed through the other two.
So I'd say Ankh is probably trying to find a way to discreetly check out the team that he's been informed is utilizing lesser demons to an extent. What was the name of that team again?
Ooh, I've got to get my note. This is not
because I wrote down grinders and cabbies, but I didn't get the name of that third one that we knew of. Did we ever get their name?
It was a long name.
Yeah, and
we got their organization, but I don't know if that was their team name.
It was.
I just assumed that was their team
Followers name. Of Limbo is the organization. Is that the like team name?
So it's the carriage itself. Mm-hmm. It's called the new. That's the New Moon.
The New Moon.
The New Moon. Okay.
Yeah, no, I wrote down followers Limbo. I knew that would come up again. Yeah, I'm just trying to like scope out, but I kind of like I'm trying to like hide my spirit mask like in a way behind my back so they can't like look over and see just this little arcane trinket clinking. I kind of just got my hands on my pockets, just leaning up against this, and then I guess I see Nathan walk up.
Yeah, if you wanted, you could do an intel.
Intel for sure.
Yeah, so I can get some intel there.
Okay, I would like to utilize Ghost Mind if that's possible. +1 dice when gathering info about the supernatural. Would you say this counts, or are they not supernatural? They're just dealing with things that are.
It's. I will say take the die, and we'll see what the.
Okay.
See what the result is.
Would this just be a study check, or could it be a tune?
Either or.
Okay. Is it a risky standard?
Risky standard, yeah.
Okay. Got a 6.
Glancing over, they are. For the most part, they are very much a normal. At least two of the riders, or two of the team, are normal. Regular folks such as yourselves. The other one exudes something of a unearthly presence, likely from your studies and experiences, possessed.
Got it.
As you look at him, standing back, you're aware of smoke that's a very fine smoke that seems to drift out of his mouth and eyes.
I think Ankh was about to do something foolish, like starting to walk towards the dude with smoke coming out of his mouth when he sees Nathan working his way towards him, and he changes course. Nathan? What do I have the pleasure? Are there any problems?
Problems? No. Everything's fine. Everything's good. So, I just had a very interesting chat with one of the cabbies.
Oh, okay. All right.
They offered us a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It would cost us 50% of our winnings, though, if we were to win, but if they were to win, it would also give us 50% of the winnings.
Oh, okay. And this is with the cabbies, right?
Yes. And it's very clear Nathan is talking much faster than he's ever spoke before.
Yeah. I imagine we haven't spoken much in general, so this is quite a shock. So, okay, so it's just... Is there anything more to it? If we win, they get 50%. If they win, we get 50%?
Split down the... Basically, it just increases both of our chances to win, and decreases the amount that we get, but, you know, it's one of those things. It does up our chances. Obviously, if we feel more confident, we can go ahead and just take the entire pot ourselves, or if we're not feeling so confident, you know, it gives us insurance, so to speak, because the Cappies are favored to win.
Yeah.
Assuming the spark rights aren't here, and I look around. No spark rights.
I just like hold up a hand. I'm like, we're good, buddy. We're good. That is the contentious part for me. Why would the favored ones to win want to team up with us, with our old goat, and
well, they may not
even worse shape carriage?
They may not know our goat, but realistically, if I were to make an educated guess, my educated guess would be we are an unknown, so they don't have any data on us. They don't know if we're just going to come out of left field and slap the living hell out of them.
So they're more worried about their Wait. They're not asking us to let them win. They're just asking for half of the money. It would make more sense if we let them win and we'd get half the pot. Because it seems this is more like a pride thing. I'm not quite sure where the money angle is coming from.
I mean,
why they'd still take that chance.
I'm just telling you what was offered. Verbatim what was offered.
Are you leaning in favor of this?
I'm conflicted. I don't...
Did they offer you anything else? You seem a little strange right now.
No. It's your imagination.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a 15 coin pot. Yeah, let's try to split it.
All right. So
I still think they're gonna screw us on this, but it'll leave us more of a chance if things don't go according to plan.
Well, I mean, there's always the option of screwing them if we win and, you know, just...
Yeah.
I mean, if you're that concerned about it. Nathan kind of stretches.
I feel like he did this like less than half a minute ago and he just did it again. Yeah. Oh no, I am interested to see how this plays out. I do want to see the looks on their faces when they see good old Eugene, though. Who is it that offered you this deal?
Ooh, what was his name again? I blanked.
I think it was Len.
Len, yeah.
Lem. L-E-M.
Lem.
Lem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Lem. Interesting. Okay, I'm done.
Kind of a familiar face in Crow's Foot. But,
let's just make sure,
what are you doing over here?
I received some interesting intel on this card over here. I figure out of the possible unknowns, the supernatural ones are the least welcome. I heard from a little birdie that this card over here, the New Moon, has some supernatural flavor added to it. You see the guy over there? I point to the dude with smoke coming out of his mouth. I think he's got a little bit of a special something going on. If I were to guess, he's either the driver or he's gonna run interference. I was about to
Nathan,
go over there and strike up a conversation before we had this wonderful chat.
At this point, Nathan's going to take a small smirk. And he's gonna pull something from his coat.
Oh.
It's a small vial that kind of looks like it's lightning in a vial. And he goes, I mean, let's just have some fun. And Nathan's going to
know the magic words.
Nathan's going to walk by the group. And he is approaching them as if he has a question of some sort. As he gets close, I'm going to make a rec roll. And I'm going to push myself. Is there any way you can assist me?
So I'm going to need a little bit more. So just try to distract them a little bit.
I'm activating Ghost Ward.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm going to do it basically.
So Ghost Voice says, you know the secret method to interact with a ghost or demon as if it was a normal human, regardless of how wild or feral it appears. Could that be like I speak in like some sort of weird accent, or the words don't quite make sense, but the intent is? And if so, could I like try to do that as a distraction to try to assist them? Because that's what I'm kind of leaning towards right now.
So yeah, absolutely. If you can.
Yeah, it as soon as like Nathan starts to get near, I kind of just shout out like a "Hey, you!" But it has this weird like a reverb on it, and it kind of just sinks into like it digs into your ear in a way that's not quite comfortable.
Awesome. I'm going to say so. Take one stress and +1 to your roll on.
Okay, and I'm pushing myself here. So this is risky standard.
I'm gonna go with. Let's go. This is. They're all around it. This is. Admittedly, there is a brief split second where everyone's attention is turned towards this very, very almost unsettling voice that carries through the air for a second. So we're going to go with desperate standard. Remember to take your experience.
Put it in prowess for right now because I'm using rec. Standard. And then this is 2 bonus die, so I have 3.
Like you usually do, please.
Oh, very nice.
Oh!
And I am choosing basically to make this the anthem. Basically, I'm trying to drive it out.
As this figure looks over to you, the smoke for a moment sort of stops drifting upwards. It seems to be only seen by you. Everyone else seems to be paying this little to no heed of this phenomena. And all the colour drains from his face as he sort of turns, looks at his teammates, just kind of gives them like a nod and sort of indicates 2 minutes, and quickly rushes outside, sort of slipping out through this side door. If unseen by you, and if you were to follow him, you would see him kind of at the very narrow side street that this door leads into. He's now kind of up against the opposite wall head kind of resting on both of his hands and just sort of retching in this alleyway.
So, this is where all the carriages are, correct?
Yes.
So essentially what Nathan did was he took this vial, and I'm doing this for a very specific reason. He doesn't break it on the ground. He smashes it with his hand against the side of their carriage.
Yeah.
Kind of like he was slapping it.
Yeah. And on a desperate action, there is that brief kind of crack as the glass breaks, and there's the kind of brief crackle as the electroplasm sort of finds expends its energy. And but with that crack, you notice that as the other guy runs out, the other two sort of make their way around and stand either side of the carriage. As you continue on your way quickly, you see them looking around and now very much on alert.
I kind of make a meandering through the crowd, making my way back to Ankh, but not making it noticeable, like I'm not running straight back to him.
Yeah, and as the dude like goes over and starts retching, I'm like, oh, never mind. You seem to be busy. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Is there anything else you would like to do while you are here?
Who are the other two? Because you stated that there were two we weren't aware of.
Okay, the first are the charmingly named cadavers. They are for a price of, depending on how much of a big ask it is. These are essentially the criminal Dusk equivalent of stuntmen. They will fake deaths. They will make people, usually that they're paid to make said person apparently seem dead. They're perfectly used to kind of falling off roofs, holding their breath for extreme lengths of time and falling into canals, but they'll always make a bit of a kind of spectacle of things, and then this person's sort of assumed missing. And the other ones are called the Angels, a crew of hawkers and shadows. Steal it, sell it.
So as I kind of make my way back over to Ankh, I'm also at this point, could we have our rooks in the crowd basically running sort of a gambling thing to try and increase payout for those that bet on us?
Yeah, maybe a tier roll. See how that goes.
Red sash, irregulars, no bonus die, because nobody's leading them. They failed.
So it's, unfortunately, being newcomers on the track, no one's taking the higher odds. You're pretty much fixed at equal return.
Okay. Crap. Well, as I finally make my way back to Ankh, and I'm just like, well, that particular individual's not going to want to be around that carriage.
Well, job well done. I'm glad to see alchemicals are making their mark in more ways than one.
And I think with that,
one real quick thing. Did you say one of them was run by Spark Rights? I remember that in last session.
They do have a team, but they're not on this race.
Oh, they're not doing this race. That's right.
Yeah.
I bet. That was all.
So, without, I think, anything else, I think Nathan would take his place inside the carriage next to the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And with that, Lottie, sorry, Caroline struggles through the main door with this stop-start, with the tether kind of still occasionally being chewed as Eugene reluctantly stumbles in. The cabbies are the first one to notice. You see the smirks and the kind of the shakes of the head. It's like, oh. Oh, can't hear you.
Everything okay, Apatura? We can't hear you.
Oh, no, I was just scratching my face. Sorry.
Okay. So having arrived with a monstrous animal, you see the rest of your team as you see Nathan kind of climbing in, and Unk stands nearby as a figure sort of reemerges from the followers and like kind of comes back in. Sort of, he's Anki especially, you'd notice sort of like wiping around his mouth. The black smoke, that faint black smoke, has gone.
Mm-hmm. Does he seem like unsteady at all? Or does he seem relatively fine?
He seems okay, probably a little bit shaky just from that kind of like sudden.
Does he look like particularly angry, or is he just trying to get back to his wagon?
He's trying to get back, but you see, it's more disconcerted rather than anger. Is that, like I say, a bit shaky on his legs still.
Got it.
And Apatura, is there anything you would like to do here?
I just like a quick rundown of the plan.
When?
Okay. So
What are we doing? What is the plan? Do we have a plan?
So entering into the goat race, there is now a deal in effect with the cabbies, that the two of you sort of will, regardless of, provided one of you wins, you split the pot. So the coin is evenly distributed, and the followers of Limbo, who are in one of the other teams, seem to have a possessed crew member, which has now been exorcised through the means by Nathan. So now essentially they've lost what could have been quite an advantage. And at this point, Caroline has just arrived, having managed to somehow get Eugene to cross Char Hollow, despite a lot of resistance and chewing through various tethers and just digging his legs in occasionally and refusing to walk.
Still has access to the same drug he used.
Sorry, say again?
Do Nathan still has access to the drugs he was planning on using during the race?
I abused them.
He's already taken them.
It's the first thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was to grease the wheels in negotiation with the cabbies.
Could have been a powerful motivation for Mr. Goat over there.
I mean, we still have alchemicals from the bandolier.
That is, if I have the bandolier.
I mean, one of us can have the bandolier since it's a one load thing for quick hands.
True. Quick change.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if...
I mean, trans powder could work, depending on how we use it.
Yeah, there's not really anything that would... Unless Spark somehow increases the goat.
It increases the tune. Do we want this goat to open its third eye?
No, that's Quicksilver.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
what was Spark? Got it.
I don't think Spark is clearly defined. Other than it makes electricity course through your body.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would be up to GM interpretation.
Depends on how you want to use it for whatever plasm-based voodoo you have planned.
But yeah, Nathan's loaded up in the cart, ready to go. Ready to service the engine or do whatever is needed.
The user feels empowered and emits mild electrical energy, so it may give them a bit of a boost depending on when we use it.
Okay, so I'm also going to ask you a question about your carriage.
Oh no.
Now this is entirely up to you. Is this a lighter frame, but better on cornering, or is it a much more solid design, which obviously lacks on the corners but has that higher top speed?
That would... see that... crap. No. My brain immediately wanted to try to metagame that. Sorry. Leave me out of this because I'm going to try to metagame it.
What do you...
Well, my immediate question was, well, is a racetrack more curvy with more turns, or is it more straight? Yeah, it's completely metagamey, so, like...
That...
I was kind of...
So have a think about that, and I will explain that in-game. As Brendan, the associate, and very much the guy who's behind all of this, brings out this quite sizable crate, sort of carrying it in both arms, puts it down on the ground, stands up, gives a couple of claps, and... Right, if I could have your attention for a minute, all teams, that'd be absolutely wonderful. So we've got a few new faces here, always good to have newcomers on the track. And of course, big welcome to our old friends, Grinders, Cabbies. Always wonderful to have you lot back. Right, a few pointers. First rule. Try to keep death off this. No guns, no blades. If you want to use something blunt, feel free to bring it along. Other than that, you can use sling, I suppose, if you blunt objects. But like I say, keep it alive. Other than that, the racetrack is point to point through Char Hollow and up into Crow's Foot. There's 3 checkpoints along the way. Whatever route you take to those checkpoints is completely up to you. The point is that you are hitting first. I need to check something. Sorry about this. That was very stupid. First one is Char Hollow Bridge. Now, you don't really have much of a say in this because unless you plan on swimming across, then that's your only option. Got a couple of our friends there, provided you go across that bridge, they will mark you at the first checkpoint. Any missing of a checkpoint gets gets you eliminated from the game and gets you eliminated from the race. The second checkpoint is the Crow's Nest, famous site in Crowsfoot. But any residents of Crowsfoot, you can't not help but know it. Stands above the rest of the buildings around it. What you need to do is a single lap around that. Now we've got a couple of lads that have stationed themselves up there. Just make sure you do it. Third and final checkpoint and the finish line is back down into Candle Street. Now along there, and any residents of that particular area will know of a little drinking hole called the Ratcatcher. Now this is the one that everything hangs on. What you need to do is you've got a big overhanging sign, can't miss it. You need to go past that sign, and someone on your team needs to hit it so it's swinging. And first team to do that with a complete contingent of their team. So if you lose somebody along the way, 2 people crossing the line in the carriage don't count. All 3 of you need to cross it. You set that sign swinging. First one to do that is the winner of the race. All pretty straightforward. Questions?
None.
No, I've got nothing.
Right, with that, final preparations. Head out. Bring your carts out. Bring your carriages out at the front when you're ready. 10 minutes. It drops down off the crate.
So,
You hear them
okay.
having a sort. Oh.
So Crow's Nest is a singular building, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very large tower, which is the home of the crows in Crowsfoot.
Okay.
It's their HQ.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
with that, as Nathan gets fully set up, I'm going to reveal his first load. Kind of hear Nathan muttering underneath his breath. Anybody that's close enough to the carriage. No guns. Well, he probably doesn't mean this. And then Nathan sets down what looks to be a rifle, but its barreling is much, much different. And he lays out a 6 to 7 syringes. It's essentially a heavily modified blowgun. It's like, this isn't designed to kill unless I load it with toxins, so it's legal. And that is
so with that,
0 load.
Gonna say, yeah, it'd have to be a smaller piece. It's not a sort of full-on hunting rifle, because that would be insane for 0 load.
Well, because technically it's meant to be like one of those, but
yeah.
Mechanically it's the same thing. I just don't want to.
Fair enough. So inside, as you put this sort of check the syringes, so on and so forth. Caroline, is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah. So, my fine lightning hook, would that be prohibited? It's technically not a blade, but it is like a hooked instrument.
Mainly for dealing with ghosts, but
yeah. Could I?
The point is that you're not bringing anything which is going to cause serious harm or death. But swinging a lightning hook at somebody, probably enough to knock them off the carriage, as long as you don't lash them up and then put an electroplasmic charge through them. Should be fine.
Got it.
Apatura?
Maybe thinking about some long perch with good treats at the end of it. Like maybe a carrot or whatever it takes to get this goat to at least walk, and preferably not backwards.
I don't know what that would fall like. Probably another item. But as you're kind of looking around, there's various goats here. So various people have the straw, hay, a few carrots, apples, whatever. But as you're looking around, Brendan makes his way over towards you and goes, so just swing by, just chatting to some of you, those of you especially that aren't so familiar. You know how this all works. You got one rider, one driver. Now the other two, up to you how you want to play this. You can obviously swap and change if things aren't working out. Feel free to change it, but you come close to another driver, nothing to stop you jumping onto their carriage and trying to raise a little bit of hell. Now the other two of you can do that as much as you like. So, like I say, just keep it relatively friendly.
Sure, relatively. Nathan's voice echoes from the back.
It's a competition. If it was completely friendly, we'd just be a nice like garage ride, wouldn't it? Have fun. As he turns around and you see him making his way towards the one of the other carriages, the one that's with the cabbies. It's more, and he ends up just chatting to them for a bit. Obviously, they're familiar with how all of this goes.
So, I guess at this point, Nathan is just filling up those syringes with specific alchemical ingredients that we will talk about later when they come up.
Absolutely.
So I'll go ahead and pick my bandolier now.
Cool. So you've got bandolier and
at least my
you've got your blowgun. Yeah. Okay. With that, let's do that minimal bit of planning.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Wyverian and Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, remember the first rule of a con. Offer them everything for nothing, and give them nothing for everything.